Hello students, today we will discuss about the recombinant DNA technology, which is also known as DNA cloning or gene cloning. It is also known as genetic manipulation, as we are actually manipulate the original DNA molecule. So it is also known as genetic manipulation or the gene manipulation. In this technique we actually recombining two DNA molecules from two different organisms and making a new DNA, that is recombinant DNA. That's why it is known as recombinant DNA technology. And with the help of this recombinant DNA, we are making so many copies of a particular gene which is actually present in this recombinant DNA, and we are making so many copies of that gene. That's why it is also known as gene cloning. So in this branch, that is in genetic engineering, is actually combination of DNA. In this technique, in this branch, we are actually combining two DNA from two or more different organisms to create a new DNA, which is known as rDNA or recombinant DNA. So we first see some historical background, and in 1972 there was a scientist named as Paul Berg who first designed the first recombinant DNA molecule. He designed that particular recombinant DNA molecule from two different organisms. The first one is from a monkey virus SV40 and from lambda virus. He was the first one who designed the first recombinant DNA molecule. And later on, after 1 year in 1973, there were two scientists, Herbert Boer and Stanley Cohen, who designed the first GMO, that is genetically modified organism, which was a bacteria. Right? Now we will study the basic steps or principles about the genetic engineering. Here you can see the bacteria. As you all of you know that the bacteria is having a bacterial chromosome, which is large circular chromosome, and apart from that main large circular chromosome, there is also a small piece of circular piece of DNA, which is known as plasmid. And this plasmid is actually act as a vector, or we used it as a vector. This why we choose the plasmid as a vector, because the plasmid is a self-replicating molecule having a ori site. Ori site are the sites from where the process of replication starts, right? So in plasmid also have ori sites. That's why we choose the vector, and the vector is actually carries the gene of interest which we insert in this plasmid, right? So and we also know that bacteria are unicellular organisms, and they will reproduce asexually, and they can produce large number of daughter cells within a limited time. That's why we are preferring the bacteria as a host organism which multiplies the gene of interest in its within its. Now here in this slide you can see the basic steps involved in the gene cloning, right? Here you can see the diagram in which the plasmid is isolated from the bacterial cell, and the plasmid is treated with some enzymes which cut that plasmid at particular sequences, and the same enzyme will cut the genome which is having the gene of interest. सेम एंजाइम ही कट करेगा प्लाज्मिड को, भी वही एंजाइम कट करेगा, सेम एंजाइम कट करेगा डीएनए को जिसमें हमारा जीन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है. As a result of treatment with restriction enzymes, we get two DNA molecules, the one from the plasmid, the one is the plasmid and other is the gene of interest. After combining the two different genomes, we will get a recombinant rDNA molecule or recombinant DNA plasmid, which actually carries a gene of interest. So we should know the enzymes involved in the process of recombinant DNA technology. The first enzyme is restriction enzymes. These enzymes are actually nucleases, and you all know that nucleases are basically two types: endonucleases and exonucleases. Nucleases are the enzymes which cuts DNA, right? So endonucleases cuts DNA within the segment, and the exonucleases actually removes the sequences from the ends. So restriction enzymes are the endonucleases, that is they cuts the DNA within the sequences or within the segment. So restriction enzymes are the endonucleases and they cut the DNA within the sequences or the segment of DNA. They basically cuts double stranded DNA molecule and they will create fragments. As restriction enzymes are cutting a DNA which is a molecule, and they are function as a scissor, like a scissor, as we use a scissor in our day-to-day life to cut papers and all. So here restriction enzymes are actually cutting a DNA molecule. That's why restriction enzymes are also known as molecular scissors, right? Restriction enzymes are also known as molecular scissors, right? These molecular scissors or the restriction enzymes identify the particular sequence within a DNA, and they actually inspecting a DNA. First they will search for that particular sequence or unique sequences. That unique sequences are also known as restriction sites. Restriction sites. Let me clear this. Okay, that are the sequences which are recognized by the restriction enzymes are also known as restriction sites. That restriction sites are recognized by the restriction enzymes or the restriction endonucleases, and within that restriction site they will cut the DNA into fragments. Okay, so restriction endonucleases functions by inspecting the length of DNA sequence. First they find out that particular sequence or that unique sequence. Each restriction endonucleases recognizes specific palindromic sequences, nucleotide sequences in the DNA. What do you mean by palindromic? Palindromic means if you read the sequence from 5 prime to 3 prime, it will matches with the same sequence you will find out when you read it from 3 prime to 5 prime, right? ऐसे सीक्वेंसेस जो आप 5 प्राइम टू 3 प्राइम रीड करें तो सेम रहेंगे, और 3 प्राइम टू 5 प्राइम अगर रीड करें तो सेम रहेंगे. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल जैसे इंग्लिश में वर्ड्स होते हैं, कुछ पैलिंड्रोमिक वर्ड्स होते हैं, जैसे मलयालम. If you read Malayalam from left to right, you will read it as Malayalam. But if you read it from right to left, the word will remain the same. So same and you can take an example in Hindi also, right? For example, dalda. इफ़ यू अगर आप इसको राइट टू लेफ़्ट रीड करेंगे तो ये डालडा है, और आप जब राइट लेफ़्ट टू राइट रीड करेंगे ये डालडा ही आप इसको रीड करेंगे, और जब आप इसे राइट टू लेफ़्ट रीड करेंगे तब भी ये डालडा ही रीड किया जाएगा। तो ये पैलिंड्रोमिक सीक्वेंसेस भी ऐसे सीक्वेंसेस होते हैं जिसे आप 5' to 3' रीड करें तो भी वो वही रहेगा, और 3' to 5' रीड करें तब भी वह वही रहेगा। So palindromic sequences are the sequences that remains the same when read from 5' to 3' on one strand, or whether it is read from 3' to 5' on the complementary strand, right? So you can see the example of enzyme 1, 2 and 3. You can see the more example of palindromic sequences, as it is one strand of DNA is having CCGGG, and its complementary strand will also having the same sequence but in opposite direction, that is GGCCC. These are the palindromic sequences, and these are the unique sequences which are recognized by the restriction enzymes only. And the sequences where enzyme cuts, these the sites are known as restriction sites. Here you can see the restriction enzyme, particular restriction enzyme. Suppose let us restriction enzyme 1 cuts in between the guanine and adenine. In the complementary strand, it also cuts at the same position, that is in between the guanine and adenine as well. So after when it cuts, it will produce the overhanging stretches. With these stretches, overhanging stretches are known as sticky ends. These overhanging stretches are known as sticky ends, and these sticky ends are present on both the strands, on each strands, and this stickiness of the ends facilitates the action of another enzyme, that is DNA ligase. That DNA ligase will take the help of these sticky ends and ligate the two DNA, that is this one and the gene of interest, easily. Okay, so restriction enzyme, suppose this is your foreign DNA and it carries a gene of interest, right? Suppose let us take an example, gene C. यहाँ जीन सी है जो एक जीन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, इसकी हमें क्लोनिंग करनी है, इसका नंबर हमें इंक्रीज़ करना है फॉर द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ पर्टिकुलर प्रोटीन, ठीक है। और ये हमारा वेक्टर है, वेक्टर प्लाज्मिड हो सकता है, ठीक है। नाउ दिस plasmid is treated with restriction enzyme 1, and the same restriction enzyme, that is restriction enzyme 1, also works on the foreign DNA, that is the foreign DNA as well as the plasmid will treated with the same restriction enzyme, so that the same kind of sticky ends are produced in both the DNA molecules. If both the sticky ends are of the same kind, then they will easily ligate by the another enzyme, which is DNA ligase. So DNA ligase, after restriction enzyme, the other major enzyme is DNA ligase. DNA ligase is the another enzyme which glues the two pieces of DNA together, right? So DNA ligases join DNA molecules together by synthesizing phosphodiester bonds between nucleotides at the ends of two different DNA molecules actually. Okay, suppose this one is the gene of interest and this is the vector DNA molecule, then the ligase in and it is produced by the it is two different molecules of DNA and it is ligated with the help of DNA ligase. DNA ligase is actually forms a phosphodiester bond between the nucleotides at the ends. जो ends पे न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स प्रेजेंट होंगे उनके बीच में फॉस्फोडाइस्टर बॉन्ड्स को क्रिएट करेगा DNA ligase. So in this slide you can see the restriction enzyme the DNA is treated with the restriction enzyme and that restriction enzyme cuts the DNA into two fragments and the same DNA same restriction enzyme is also cuts the gene of interest or other DNA molecule as well and it will produce the same sticky ends, right? As you can see it is GNC, right? And the gene of interest is also having the same sequence, that is AATTC, and the original blue one DNA is also having the same sequence. So it is easy to ligate these two DNA molecules because their ends their sequences are matches with the original one, that is the blue one. So the DNA ligase easily joins that DNA molecules by forming a phosphodiester bonds between two different molecules of DNA, that is the blue one here you can see and the grayish one, right? And the resultant DNA molecule formed is known as recombinant DNA molecule. Now we will see the general phenomena of gene cloning. In this case you can see the plasmid is extracted from the bacterial cell and isolated plasmid is treated with the restriction enzyme and it will create a gap, which gap is filled by the gene of interest which is having the same sequence of DNA. So the resultant DNA molecule is known as recombinant DNA molecule and this recombinant DNA molecule is inserted into the real bacteria, and in this bacteria, when this bacteria will reproduce by a sexual method, it will form so many daughter cells in a limited time, and our gene of interest is also increases, the number of copies of gene of interest is also increases as the bacteria reproduces. So they here some say total 6 steps are involved in gene cloning, and first one is the isolation of plasmid DNA or the human DNA, or the you can write here the gene of interest as well. Okay, now the restriction enzyme cut both the DNA and and later on it will form a recombinant DNA, and that recombinant DNA is inserted into the or introduced into the bacterial cell. The host bacterial cell again multiply and form so many colonies, and last two steps involved the selection of transformed cells and the amplification process. In the selection of transformed cells, in the selection of transformed cell, we are actually identifying the bacterial cells actually containing the DNA vector molecules. So, and the last step is the amplification, and in the nowadays for amplification there is a technique known as PCR technique. So DNA cloning, in DNA cloning there are two approaches. The one is in vivo method and the other one is in vitro method. In vivo method the first two steps are in vitro. जो फर्स्ट टू स्टेप्स होते हैं वो इन विट्रो होते हैं, लेटर ऑन स्टेप्स आर द बाद के जो स्टेप्स होते हैं वो इन वाइवो ही होते हैं. एंड इन विट्रो सेल फ्री DNA cloning, the whole procedure is done in vitro conditions. In our next class we will study about the structure of vectors as well as the naming of or the nomenclature of restriction endonucleases. Thank you so much.